Welcome to my Con Tampa Hall and Thoughts. This is my third year going to this particular con, and yeah, this is the third one they've ever done as far as I've heard, as far as I know about this particular thing. Because I went this first, I went to this thing back in 2015, and went again last year, and I went again this year. Uh, what did I think of this particular con? Now I did get stuff. Don't worry, I got stuff, and I'm gonna show it off. It was a pretty good con. One thing I saw a lot of when I was at this con, I didn't see a lot of like Deadpools or Harley Quinns like I normally do. I saw a ton of people dressed up as characters of My Hero Academia. I mean, yeah, there was about let's see. I saw someone dressed up as Deku, as Pinky, as Bakudo. I think I've seen like two Bakudos. Let's see. There was also Midnight. I saw someone dressed up. Actually, it wasn't Midnight. It was Mount Lady. Yeah, I saw dressed up as Mount Lady. Eraserhead. I saw a couple of those, and that's it. It was like a bunch of basically My Hero Academia characters because of how popular it is now. Even though the current season is ending really soon. Let's see. I saw one Deadpool. I saw maybe one Harley Quinn. I saw a couple of Miles Morales Spider-Man. I saw one person dressed up as Magneto and person dressed up as Storm. Wasn't a lot of cosplayers I saw there today. No. Let's see. There was mostly everybody I got pretty much I wanted to get signed, except for one. Mike Barron, I did not get a chance to get signed from him. When I first went by his table, he was not there. Steve Rude, who was a freaking partner of his, working on a book called Nexus, was a comic published by coming back in the early 80s, now currently published by Dark Horse. He was there. I didn't have anything for him to sign. I had like 3 books Mike Barron to sign, and he was not there. Nope. And went back to this table a little bit later, after a little while. I went back to this table, and they were packing up. So, no get a chance to do it. Okay. Now, before I get to what I got, I did take a picture with Todd Heppercorn. I am going to show off what I got him to sign. Yep. Just a second here. Just checking something. Yeah, this is my picture with me and Todd Heppercorn. Yeah, the same guy who plays characters like Natsu from Fairy Tail, Death the Kid from Soul Eater, bunch of others. You can check out my reviews of basically various series that he has been in, like a whole bunch. I've seen like 15 series with him in it. Okay, now I'm going to show off what I got at Comic Con. First, I got this one from Greg Horn. It's a print of Annie, the character Annie from Attack on Titan. Yep. My mother saw this. She thought this was disgusting. Yeah, I told her, this is a Titan from a series called Attack on Titan. And she just didn't care. Me, I think this is a really good pick. A really good print. I like Attack on Titan. I really do. I'm enjoying the current arc. And I talked to Greg Horn for his people for quite a while. Bring us to they have talked about. Yeah, I talked for a little while. Alright. This is something I purchased. I'm not going to mention how much I purchased that for, but yeah, but I even got signed by him as well. I got a double feature DVD of 2 films from the Hensai Godzilla film series, Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla 2, and Godzilla vs. Space Godzilla. This is one of 3 volumes I got for My Hero Academia. Yeah, I own volumes 12 and 13. Here's volume 14. I picked this up. The other 2 books are somewhere in my bag. I had to look for them. I got this for Todd Heppercorn, a picture of Death the Kid. Mm-hmm. Even he really enjoyed this character. He did mention to me why the dub stopped for Toriko. Apparently, it wasn't selling too well. That was the reason why the Funimation stopped the dub. As I even asked him why didn't they dub the OVA's Fairy Tail, he had no idea about why they didn't dub that, because it's not his job. Because it's not his decision to basically get these things dubbed. It's Funimation themselves. I'm still a little curious about that myself. He does kind of remember voicing the character on Bleach. He voiced one of the Fullbringers, a guy whose power was the jackpot. He does remember that. I did talk a little about One Piece. Talked like briefly a little bit about Kamagata Kill, a little bit about DBZ, several other series. Mostly was lots of like Fairy Tail stuff like that. Great guy to talk to. Oh yeah, and also guy currently has a goatee. Yep. Now I'm gonna show the first two T-shirts I got. I got a T-shirt featuring Shudo from My Hero Academia. The other one being the star of the show, Deku. Here are the other two volumes of My Hero Academia I got. Volume 10 and Volume 11. Yeah, I got about 9 more volumes to go and I got the entire series. This is one of the last purchases I made. I got the Showcase Presents The Unknown Soldier Volume 2. This book got signed by Chuck Dixon. Yeah, he wrote this on the inside. Yep. Talked a little bit about Nightfall. Yeah, he really enjoyed that one. He says that I asked him what other crossover he worked on that he really enjoyed besides Nightfall. He said Legacy. Yeah, the one about the virus. Yeah, and he didn't have a really big problem with either of the live action adaptations of Bane. I got a chance to talk a little about that. Yeah, and we can talk a little about the DC organization Cobra, which he did agree with me. Cobra was essentially DC's version of Hydra, though Cobra had a thing for snakes, Hydra had something for something else. Yeah, and the whole thing about Cobra's leader being a baby, yeah, because they keep changing heads. Yeah, that was just something. And I even asked about a character that looks like Cyclops with a visor. Yeah, it turns out that's a character called Gunfire. Yeah, I barely remember this character. So even he didn't have a problem with me being a little bit surprised from what I can tell by looking at his expression. Yeah, because Gunfire is not that big of a character, so I did not know who he was, so I wasn't all that familiar with him. And he was also the first person I ran into. Yep. This book I got signed by Jimmy Palmiotti. Yep, that's his signature, along with a giant picture of Jonah Hex himself. This is something I purchased. The Death of Captain America, Volume 2. The Burden of Dreams. This book I signed both by Jimmy Palmiotti and Amanda Conner. I even asked him about issue 0. Yeah, all the artists that are in the book, those people he ran into at San Diego Comic-Con a few years ago, and that's pretty much how he got all their signatures. How they got all the work on the book. Excuse me. Here's some more books. Yeah, next couple books I purchased. This is Siege Mighty Avengers. This is the last trade that collects the first volume. So basically, I own every single trade that collects issues from the first volume of Mighty Avengers except for one. Yeah, and that's I think it's like Mighty Avengers. I think it's like Mighty Avengers Dark Reign. I think that's what it is. But yeah, I own pretty much like every single one except for one now. Here's another one I purchased. This is the last trade of New Avengers from the first volume. This is only the third trade I own for this particular thing. Yeah, but this contains the final issues of New Avengers Volume 1. Yep. This book I got signed by the guy who inked this thing. Yep, I got him to sign the inside of the cover. He didn't have a really big problem with it, but yeah. Yep, that's him. And don't worry, it's not as much as my last haul when I went to a Comic-Con. Yeah, it's actually a lot less. Mostly a lot of the books here are just some books I brought with me to get signed. This one I got signed by Greg Horn, the same person I got the print from, the one of Annie from Attack on Titan. Yeah. He also had one of Mitsuka from Attack on Titan. This is after she had cut, I think it was the Colossus Titan's face in half. Yep. This one I also got signed by Jimmy Palmy and Amanda Connor. I actually asked Amanda Connor about Harley Quinn's hair, of why it was changed to be dyed like that, just so people confirmed this is Harley Quinn, and because the movie was coming out. That's mainly the reason why that was. I even asked Jimmy Palmer about Deadshot, why he appeared for a couple issues, and the reason is because people love Deadshot, so he put in him as just a popular character, and talk a little about the Joker. Let's see, a few of the books he worked on. Oh yeah, we even talked about the Punisher Christmas special, the Battle for Bloodhaven Munch, a mini-series. I even brought up that Linkar on top of the fourth wall has reviewed these things. I'm trying to think, what else? Oh yeah, we talked about a little bit about the last couple books that I saw these two worked on. One was the Harley Quinn and Gusher, one of the Looney Tunes characters, and the Jetsons mini-series. And he was surprised that I kept up with all the comic stuff. Iron Fist, the Immortal Iron Fist, Volume 1, the last Iron Fist story. Yeah, when I saw this, I'm like, okay, I really want to get this because I own the second volume for this, and I love this series. So I figured, I'd pick it up. Yep. I don't know how many more trades I need to get before I collect the entire series, but I love Iron Fist. Where's the favorite characters? Excuse me. This is the second volume that collects issues from Rick Remender's Punisher run. Yeah, I actually own just 2 volumes of this. I did get one other book that did collect his run for Punisher, and I'll get to that in a minute. Here's a trade that collects issues from Matt Fraction's run for Punisher War Journal. Yeah, this is actually the final trade that collects issues for Punisher War Journal, and this will be the first War Journal volume I've actually reviewed since the original volume since the first volume that they collected issues from this particular run a couple years ago when I get a chance to view it. The other one I got from the library. This one I own. This I got signed by Todd Hepcorn. Says, keep fire alive. And of course there's his signature. I was very happy to get this signed by him. We talked a lot about, mostly about Fairy Tail and a few other things. This one I got signed here by John Boy Myers. That's his signature right there. Don't worry, I'm almost done. I'm actually about done here. Yeah, here's 2 more Punisher trades. Here's the first volume that collect issues from Recommended from Punisher. This is Punisher Dark Reign. This technically is the first volume that collect issues Recommenders run. Yeah, so pretty much, yeah, there's one in the book I got for Recommenders run. So I pretty much own almost the entire run, except for like one book. I did see it there, but I didn't get it. This is actually the finale for his. This is actually his epilogue to his run. This is Punisher in the Blood. I think I have reviewed this. I don't remember if I have, but when I originally read this series, I really enjoyed it because this basically wrapped up pretty much his run for the book. And yeah, that is it. Yeah, there's nothing much else. Let's see. Yeah, one thing about Con Tampa is that they don't take up much room in the convention center. As a matter of fact, they take up half of the space that Tampa Comic Con does. Tampa Comic Con takes up the entire room. This one takes up roughly about 50%, lower 50% of the space, but it just seems like there's a lot of empty space there. And because I went today, none of the food areas were open. None, which is actually something. Yeah, they had them all blocked off. A little weird, especially if someone's hungry. Yeah, they had them all blocked out by various booths, and none of them were open, surprisingly, which I thought they were. And also, from what I can tell, when I was there, not a lot of stands that sell comic stuff. Yeah, not a lot. I saw tons of basically some t-shirts, some other stuff, but not a lot of ones that sell comic trades, which is a little weird. Well, maybe because it's the first day, that could be a possibility. But I generally go the first day because I'm only there for a few hours, anyways. Was there anything else? I was hoping to be a little more impressed with the vendors, but my guess is probably not a lot of vendors showed up today because, well, first day. And there was one booth that went by where the way they were selling stuff, it was like buy one get two for free. Okay, but that was a little weird. One I went to where I got the manga books, that was buy three or more for 20% off. Luck of these books only cost about $10 a piece, so nothing really much wrong with me with that. Let me think here. There was one booth that I stopped by where it was where I got 4 trades for $5 a piece. That's why I got Unknown Soldier and the few other books. But yeah, not a lot of stuff this time. It's very little. About half the stuff I got here or stuff I brought with me. Yeah, I didn't buy many stuff. I mean, I used my card that very much this time because, well, I basically got criticized for buying too much stuff from the last con I went to. But this time, yeah, not a lot of stuff this time. Mainly because I just wanted to save money. That's mainly the reason why. And plus, I didn't have much money prior to going to the con anyways. So I didn't want to go on a wild spending spree. Anything else? Aside from Chuck Dixon, Chuck Dixon talked for a little while. I talked to Greg Horde for a little while. Of course, I'm talking about Connor. Talked a little while to Tal Heppicorn, despite thinking some people behind me. Oh yeah, I did run into somebody who was cosplaying as Dark Magician Girl, and she was actually surprised I got that right. And the fact that her voice coach is the guy who voices Yugi from Yu-Gi-Oh, Dan Green. Okay, I found that to be interesting. The fact that she knows the dub actor who does Yu-Gi-Oh. Just tea. Excuse me. I saw the one thing I got from Peppercorn. That's the only thing I got for free. Everything else I pretty much paid for once stuff I could pick up from the con. Wasn't much anything else. I didn't get any hats. I didn't get any magnets this time like I did when I went to Macon Orlando. I didn't get much other stuff. Like what you see, what I got here, that's what I got. Yeah, the stuff wasn't signed. With the exception of the thing of freaking Top Peppercorn. Everything else I bought. Pretty much, yes. I didn't spend very much because I didn't want to spend very much while I was there. I didn't stop many booths. When last con I went to, I went by a couple booths twice. The rest of them, I did go by them. I didn't stop by them. There was a couple booths that went by when I was getting stuff for t-shirts. I could live for people for a little bit, not very much. Didn't get any business cards this time because I forgot to bring my new business cards. And that's really it. I kind of wish this particular con had more big names to it, aside from Jimmy Palmiotti, Amanda Connor, Chuck Dixon, and Mike Barron. Yeah, there wasn't like a lot of really big names with this particular con. There was Pat Broderick. It was him. Aside from that, Greg Horn is kind of a big artist name, but not as big as some of these other people. Yeah, his name is not as big as anybody else. And I'm hoping next time I'm hoping to go to is Orlando Toy and Comic Con because Neil Adams and Danny Costas are going to be there. Neil Adams met before. He's always a nice guy to talk to. In the case of Danny Costas, never met this guy before, and I do enjoy this guy's work. I'm going to talk a little about Death and Humans when I get a chance to see him in January. And all the past few years, I've wanted to go to this particular con, but the problem with this particular con is, up until next year, it's only been one day. Yeah, a one-day Comic-Con. And the other cons I've gone to have been 3, maybe 4 days. Macon Orlando's 4 days. I mainly picked today because, well, I generally go on the first day, and it's the cheapest day of all 3 days. The other might have to pay for the ticket for this particular con. I only paid like $20. That's because I signed up for Fan Expo. Yeah, because I'm a free subscriber to that. I signed up for that. I signed up for newsletter, and they gave me a discount for tickets for Macon Orlando. So I basically paid like $15 for it, but I paid like $5 in tax. So yeah, I got my money's worth when it comes to this particular con. Like overall, I think I only spent like I'm not gonna say how much I spent, but it's less than what I spent my last con I went to. Yeah, nothing much else to say. It's an okay con. I still plan to go to it next year because I like going to MegaCon MegaCon Tampa. I'm pretty much making an annual tradition to go every single year. Tampa Comic Con I went to. The last one I went to that was the 5th time I've gone. MegaCon Orlando, that was the 2nd time. For this con, it was the 3rd time. Yep. So yeah, nothing much else to say. It was an okay con, but in the case of voice actors, I wasn't going to bring anything for any celebrities because they usually charge. Well, I wasn't because I didn't see much for the guests, and when I saw the anime guests have been released, this was like late last month, and I think it was about a couple months ago. This was where I look at the thing and I'm like, oh, Todd Peppercorn's gonna be. I've got to get something for him to sign, and I figured I'd try to get Fairy Tale Dragon Cry. I tried to look for the Walmart, couldn't find it. Lucky enough, the last con I went to, Tampa Comic Con, I found it, got it, and I brought it this one, and he signed it. I was so happy that he did that. Yep. So now officially met 2 of my favorite dub actors. There are many others basically I wanted to meet. I wanted to meet Veronica Taylor. She's definitely one I've always wanted to meet because I basically grew up watching her doing the dub of Pokemon. There's her. There's Christopher Saban, the guy who voiced Piccolo and Vegeta from DBZ, plus other characters. I would love to meet the guy who voices Goku. He would have been nice to me. Colleen Chickenbeard. The woman versus Urza from Fairy Tail, Luffy from One Piece. Well, I meet her. Stephanie Steve. The one who voiced Hinata from Naruto. And of course Orihime from Bleach and bunch of her series. Oh yeah, she also voiced Sailor Moon. Yeah, there's still a bunch of other dub actors I've always wanted to meet, but so far it's only 2. In the case of comic creators, I've met a small number of them. There's still some others I've always wanted to meet. Denny O'Neil, Roy Thomas. Let's see who else. Grant Morrison, I've always wanted to meet him. Frank Miller. Once I had personally met, aside from Jim Hyman, I once met today. I have met Pierre J. Tomasi. Let's see, who else have I met? Let me think here. I met Jerry Conway, one of the most nicest writers I've actually met. Mike Perkins. Yeah, when I mentioned Mike Perkins to Chuck Dixon, the fact that, well, kind of I met him at a couple of Comic Cons. The fact he works with Dan Jerkins, another guy I met. On Green Lanterns, he was actually very surprised and very happy because I think he's actually a fan of Mike Perkins' artwork. I met Mike Perkins a couple times. Dan Jurgens I met once. I met Pierre David. If anyone asks, basically, if any writer, if I have met them, feel free to ask me in the comments below, or any artists I may have met. Feel free to ask me if I've met this particular artist or not. All right. If you went to MegaCon Tampa, like I did today, feel free to comment down below. I highly doubt anybody I know of actually went to this particular thing. Excuse me. I like MegaCon Orlando, where I ran into Kat from Comic Frontline. This one I didn't run into anybody. Nope. Didn't run into anybody at all. Yeah. But, yeah. So that's particularly it for this video. I was planning, hopefully, doing a review of the 2 newest chapters of 7 Deadly Sins, but I'm going to have to wait till tomorrow to take care of that, okay? Along with a review of the newest episode of My Hero Academia anime, and of course, its manga, okay? But there's the next video. Bye.